let's have a story time. So, I'm divorced. I've been divorced for maybe over 5 years, I believe. I've been divorced. I was only married for like a year. Something I regret doing. I thought I was in love, but I wasn't. And some things happened where the individual went away. And yeah, once that individual went away, I felt like a veil was lifted from my eyes, and I realized that I really wasn't in love, that I was actually just in lust with this person, and that a part of me was broken that really needed some healing. And so that's what I set forth to do. Now, fast forward, this individual is back into society. In 2022, they returned back to society. I'm sorry, I left out a part that before the individual went in, we created another human being. During that time that he was out of the way, or outside of society, I took the responsibility of being the mother and the father. I definitely had support. However, of course, it's my kid. I got it. Well, when that individual returned to society, yes, I listened to all the jail talk that is up in the jails. I believe it's like a legal folder or legal pad up against the beside the phone, and it tells you what to say based on the conversation that you want to have. Like, for instance, if you feel like when you come home you're going to be a Muslim, there's a conversation for that. You flip over the page. If you say that you want to take care of your kids, it's a conversation for that. Flip over the page. If you feel like you're gonna be a Christian or whatever, I just feel like there are conversations already on this legal pad. No, that is not true, but that's just my belief, because everyone who goes to prison always has this type of story or conversation. I'm gonna do good when I come home. I'm gonna be there for my kid when I come home, etc. Okay. So now that the individual is back into society, my plan was just obviously to reunite him with the human that we created, and make the best of our relationship. Co-parenting. I had no plans on returning back to a relationship with this individual, because it just, the relationship wasn't real in the beginning anyway. I found out he was lying about a whole bunch of things, which just led to me gaining clarity. Okay, bam. Now, the individual, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm chewing gum. It got stuck on my tooth. But the individual is back out into society, and I'm trying to co-parent the best that I can. Since 2022, he's been making it very difficult for me. I did make peace with his situation, showing grace that he had just returned back to society. So I'm like, listen, I understand you can't financially support him in this situation, but I have these programs going on. I have my own business, all these things going on. I'm working all those things. As long as you can help me by getting him every other weekend, I'm okay. I won't pressure you. I'm not pressuring you for money. I've been doing it thus far for the last X amount of years. I just really need support in this area, because I don't have support like I should, and I want you to develop a relationship with the human that we created. Okay. Since 2022, I've been doing this. I've been like, yes, I need you to be consistent. I need you every other weekend. That's all that I'm asking. Every other weekend, which is actually 48 days a year. Okay, 48 out of 365. Okay, so I just need you to be active and supportive in these areas. I'll help you find work. I'll help you start your business. I'll help you do whatever it is, because if you're great, then through you, my son will be great. And that's that. Okay. Alrighty. So now here we are. It's 2025, and it's just becoming more and more difficult. I never plan to take him for child support, because I just don't believe that there should be a system that, not that it shouldn't, some people need it, but I feel like if you're a man and this is your son and this is what you want to bring to the world, I feel like we shouldn't have to force you, or the system shouldn't have to force you to take care of something that came from your testicles. Honestly, they shouldn't have to tell you how to do it, but now I realize that there are a lot of individuals who actually need the government to show them, or the system to show them, and to pressure them or force them to take care of their children, because they just don't believe that they have to. And to me, that is just disgusting. disgusting. Like, I have no respect for a man or a woman who cannot take care of their children. Now, if you have some type of debilitating disease or something like that, I'm not talking about that. But if you are of able-minded body and you are choosing just to be trifling, I just can't get with that. Now, I have decided to go ahead and take this individual for child support. Okay, I don't even know what else to do. You know, I've tried everything. I've extended so much grace. I really just don't understand. You know, like, every time I turn around, it's always an excuse. Every time I turn around, you know, it's him trying to, like, make passes at me or whatever the case. And I don't care about that. Like, even if I even thought about considering rekindling anything that we could have had, you're not giving me anything to work with. You're leaving me out here to fend for myself, while you're out here swinging your arms and trying to make up for lost time. I'm out here trying to figure it out, you know, fend for the child, rear the child, keep the kid alive. And all I'm asking you is for 48 days out of the year, and you find it hard to give that to me. So I really don't understand what else or what other choice you're giving me other than to put it in the hands of the court. So now I have done this. I have went to the court. I have, you know, did the paperwork, all of that stuff. We've had our court date or whatever the case. We've done all that. And he has to pay a large amount, $600 and some odd. He has to pay that amount. He, of course, the day before court, now he's like, oh, let's have a conversation of what I could do, you know, to help you out. But I have been trying to have this conversation with you since 2022, and you've been, quote unquote, giving me your ass to kiss. So I just don't understand, like, why is it that men these days are so emotional and just so, like, selfish that they really don't care about anything but themselves. And I'm not male bashing, because I love me a good man. I really, really do. I love me a man. I would never trade penis for vagina. Like, that's just not my thought process. But it is so frustrating when all you want is for someone to do right by a child that was created in quote unquote love. You know what I mean? So it's like, I didn't set you up. Like, we were together. You know, you're treating me like I'm some side chick and I set you up, and this is how, you know, things are supposed to be or whatever. And his conversation is, oh, well, if you wouldn't talk to me the way that you do, then things wouldn't be like that. And I'm like, huh? Like, I start off being very nice and cordial, but by the fifth time, I'm exaggerating on 8, but by the 5th time, I'm like, fuck you mean? You know what I'm saying? It's like 48 days out of the year is all that I'm asking you. And you are fighting to only see him for half of that. You only want to be able to see him once a month is what you were asking the court for. I'm just so flabbergasted that that's how a lot of men are. And I hate to say it, but men, y'all gotta get y'all shit together. Like, don't nobody have time to be dealing with that. Like, these kids are out here living lawless. You know, they're out here without rearing from their fathers because the fathers don't want accountability. Not all fathers, but some don't want accountability. And I just don't understand. I can't respect that shit. I can't. And then I go to the court, and the judge, I get into this yelling match with the judge because the judge is telling me that we can't make him do what he's supposed to do. So she was ready to grant him the 1 weekend out of the month. And I had to get in her shit. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am. Like, you are sitting up here ready to just not hold him accountable at all, and she's yelling, we can't make him. And I say, yeah, but if you set something forth that I can reinforce, and if he chooses not to do it, then cool, I can follow the law to get those things handled. But if you don't even put him in a position to be held accountable, then what leg are you giving me to stand on? You know, it's like the rise in youth crime is crazy. And then when you go to these juvenile court systems, they're like, oh, where's the father? Well, judge is letting them walk free with no accountability. That's what the father had. She let him swing his arms and letting him go do his thing with seeing the child only 1 weekend a month and thinking that that's okay. So long story short, she kept the 2 weekends after I had to show my ass. And I'm just like, really? Really? Like, that is what we're made of. Like, this is insane that this is what mothers have to deal with, and some men too. Like, I'm sorry if you men are dealing with that too. Like, I am not trying to knock no men. I'm not trying to drag men or anything like that, but I just think that it is absolutely insane that we have to beg men to do right by their children. 48 days out of a year is the minimum, you know, like the minimum that you could do. But this child is not growing into a woman. This child is growing into a man. And I will admit that I do not have all the things that I can give to him to teach him to be a strong man. I don't have it. I'm a woman. He requires a male. He requires a man. Yes, and I know that some of y'all gonna say, oh, well, you picked him. Yes, I did. I picked him during the time when I was broken, during the time when my discernment was not working, obviously. And I admit that. And I live in guilt about that sometimes. And I cry about it sometimes because it's unfair to the child. But good God, because my picker was off, does that mean that he holds no responsibility to the child that we created? Like, I don't understand that. Chime in, let me know. Hit me in the comments, let me know. Give me some suggestions, because I've done everything besides get on my hands and knees and beg this man to do right. And I refuse to do that. But, you know, I've done everything else. I've been nice, I've been mean, I wrote it in the text, I sent the goddamn pigeon down there, and it just seems like he doesn't want to. And then his response, he tells his family members, oh, she's just doing this because she want to get back with me. I don't want no contact. And I told him that. The only reason that I'm talking to you is because we share a kid. If we didn't have this kid, I wouldn't even know you got out. Like, I really just want you to be in his life. Like, fuck me. The hell with me. Don't think about me. I ain't shit. Fuck me. But this kid, yo, give him a chance. Give him a chance to live a life with a father. Like, I know what that's like, and he should know what that's like. That's a whole nother story. But he should know what it's like to not have your father in your life. And the fact that you are willing to put your child through this just to spite me is disgusting. But yeah, single moms, married moms, single dads, married dads, hit me up in the comments, chime in, let me know your thoughts. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me how I can fix it.